1. And we are recording. Okay, good deal. All right, everybody. Once again, I am Brian Kynes, the creator of the Tales of Ulran. And with me are several players that we've been playing with for a long time. They're helping me write the book as we go along through playing Dungeons and Dragons, 5th edition. Homebrew. Beside me over here is Alex Porter. She'll be playing the role of Oma. Below her is Sean. He will be playing the role of Sade. And straight down below me is Ron, and Ron will be playing the role of Ignatious, our avian cleric. Thank God for clerics tonight, because we got a serious one, folks. Okay, so when we were playing, everyone seemed to find their way under some roof miraculously. I don't know how it happened. Whether it was DM magic or what the hell made it happen, but everyone ended up being in Leah's rare and exquisite cuisine, this airship looking restaurant that has a tropical theme to it, with Leah herself bringing us out some of her finer food. And like we always said, she resembles Whoopi Goldberg and has a deep tone of the place where she's from, a deep accent. And Alex, I don't even think Oma got a chance to bite into her food, did she?
No.
That was a bunch of crap, because we talked about it there for at least 15 minutes, and it finally come out. And of course, Sean's character Sade was going to try to eat some bulked up calamari, and just about got sick at the table, and Leah come over and smacked it. That was really funny. That was a good moment. With that, there was a bunch of commotion outside. Brahmus is back. The Seraphim vessel for the soul of Merc Stillcrest. And he has brought back Iridan, which was a tiefling that had helped escort Brahmus back to the avian city of dreams so he could fulfill his quest and return the vessel that he had been in for so long back to the city in the hopes that a true angel would bond with it. But because of his good deeds and a lot of different role playing and things that happened there, Merc was allowed to inhabit it and keep it for himself, and now has a chance to move outside the city. With him, to Ron's surprise, was Sylownn, which was another one of his kind. Only she's had a rough go of it. She only has one wing because of, well, backstory things. And she seems to quickly and oddly, it's hard to describe how she came to know this new class that she's become so quickly. But she is a Skylancer, an avian Skylancer now, and has been practicing that inside of Brahmus, or that dimension that is inside of Brahmus. Just one more time for clarity, in case you don't know and you're watching this, and everyone here playing, of course, knows. Brahmus is a vessel, is a seraphim that can hold the soul of a person. And inside of this person is a large dimension that can look different depending on the person inhabiting him. And this looks like a large ancient castle. And time moves extraordinarily slow and different inside of this body, this Brahmus, if you will. Okay. She has been going in there and training in the way of her kind's elite force, which are called the Black Wing Guard, where Ron's from. He's friends with several of them, and one is called Vargas, and they are a group of elite avian Skylancers. And she is my first attempt at creating one. It's been an interesting go. So she has this newfound kind of spark and quirkiness about herself, and she is empowering herself with the thing that took her wing. She is dressed up to appear like a wyvern, like she looks like the creature that took from her, armored in something almost looks like a dragon's kind of helmet. And for Final Fantasy fans, this has a heavy flavor of the Dragoon character to it, because we had people that wanted to play this. But this is our way of introducing that in a storyline that makes sense with this, without feeling like our arms are snapping from twisting them a little hard to try to get a video game thing into this. So it stands on its own, and I hope you guys like it. So there was a commotion outside, and everyone took turns running out the door. Sylownn, the Skylancer, was one of the first ones out the door, like a kid hearing an ice cream truck go by. There is a freshly parked, small, compact, if you will, airship outside called Rosealia's Eye, which we used a long time ago in episodes in the past. And it's already warm. Engine's running. So everyone kind of looks at each other that's in this group here and decides, are we doing this, or are we going to go see what the problem is? And they all decide yes. And far down, remember, we're in Skywatch, which is the very top of the city. Okay, it's up a whole platform and far above the rest of the city. Ron gets a glimpse of what he believes to be a frost worm, 60, 70 plus foot tall, that seems to have burrowed its way and attacked a band of dwarves that were on their way back to the Dwarven city of Argon. They had wagons and things of that nature. And there had just been a large tournament where people had fought beasts that had been captured in the lower lands lately. Whenever there are corrupt animals and creatures that can be brought in and fought, people do that. And the city pays pretty well for that kind of entertainment. Well, these dwarves are on their way back from bringing those creatures from their forest here so people could fight them for sport and things. And this frostworm seems to have attacked their entire group. We see people scattered throughout, as creatures laid waste, and we heard this really high-pitched scream that hurts our ears, and we're like almost a mile away, okay, to the point where it makes your ears ring for a moment, even where we're at, okay. Which is one of the things that really keyed Ron into, like, oh, I've read about this. I think you rolled like a 27 on your history check or something like that. So you pretty much created one out of clay and did a report on one when you were a kid. It's ridiculous. But having said that, there are some things you would know about this creature that you might want to share with everyone as we go down this path. So I'm going to share screen and get some battle music going, and we're going to get it. And I will go through this quick rushed boarding process. Oh, last thing I want to remember or talk about, great moment with Oma, where Dahan realizes he's going to go to the Sylownn to take care of some stuff. We still don't know if Dauntus is okay, and he feels really responsible for that. His really good friend, the poker playing dwarven bombardier character, and he looks at Oma and is like, are you okay to go? And with this newfound bravery that she's trying to build in herself, she's like, yeah, I'm going. And although she doesn't know these people really well, Valdera, one of my characters, has asked Oma to kind of watch over her. She's been having really dark thoughts, and this evil seems to be festering inside of her. And she knows Oma is a very good-spirited person and a cleric, and has asked Oma as a personal favor that if something like that happens, I need you to have my back in case I lose control of it. The two had a brief talk in Leah's, the restaurant. Alex agreed hesitantly. She was a little weirded out by Valdera talking to her so openly about this shit. But when she jumped in and they were going to the ship and they were flying down towards this trouble, Dahan held up the sign, the symbol for her, and held it up above his head to let her know to be brave, even though he wasn't going to be there. And I think that was pretty much the last thing that happened in the last episode. So now that I have went on for 10 minutes talking about things we did do, let's do some new things. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, thank you for being polite and not saying, come on, Brian, what the... Let's go share screen. And let's do this. Share computer sound. And, well, no, not yet. You know what? We're going to wait a minute. Because I have some other things we need to talk about on the way down there first. So, as we're going that direction, okay, everyone has kind of jumped on this ship, and you notice that this thing holds about 10 people maximum, okay? It is a small, like probably 20-foot long, tops, 15 to 20-foot long airship, almost like a big fishing boat, that has been made into a makeshift airship. And Iridan, the tiefling, I think, ran back on the ship. Mind you, he was in pretty bad shape. He had just overcome a possession, and he was wrapped up almost like we said with a blanket, like he was someone that survived a bombing or was a house fire, and he's kind of blanketing himself up. He goes in and pilots the ship. Brahmus goes bellowing on, jumps on, the thing sways back and forth. So we got Brahmus on there. We got Sade. How is it you would like to board the airship? I never gave you guys a chance to do that.
Sade will see Dehan trying to untie the ship so it can go. So she's gonna like finish up help him get it done, and then as the last rope is when she's gonna kind of like super jump monk shit onto the bow of the ship, and then like I said, noticing that there's no second in command, she's just gonna start giving orders to everybody to start getting the ship underway.
I vaguely remember that now because you have the dreadnought because your ship is badass.
Yeah.
Write that down. Super jump monk shit.
Super jump monk shit.
I want that to be your key phrase from now on, man. He's going to pull some of that. Okay, so for that, roll me. I'll have you do a charisma check, or I'll have you do a check that talks about how well you manage yourself on ships. If you put some skill points into something like that, you could persuade me to let you use that, and I'll see just if people want to listen to you or not.
Okay.
Because Brahmus may just sit there and stare at you, just a big old construct like, like, what in the hell are you doing?
Okay. Sorry, just letting my character sheet load. So is it just straight up charisma, or are we doing persuasion, or?
Well, what do you want you tell me what you want to do? I'd say persuasion.
Persuasion, okay. With that, it's going to be an 18.
Okay. Just for the hell of it, Ron, roll me a charisma check and see if you're drinking the Kool-Aid, buddy. I want to see if Ron's adhering to this shit. I'm going to roll for Brahmus. You can't, for those people watching, Ron has this magical item on him in his pocket. It's a piece of a chess piece that he took from the last thing. And what it does is it randomly makes him forget to unmute his computer when he's speaking. He didn't realize it was magical, but there's a curse on this little thing, and it's been working like a charm ever since you took it.
Yes, it has.
Say it again, buddy.
I rolled a 24.
Okay, so as impressive as Sade is, you're just kind of taking it in. You're not exactly like, you're not ahoy anything, really. You're just kind of like, that's good for you.
Well, I would probably not even know what the hell she's telling me to do.
That's true.
I fly. I've never really been on an airship.
It's funny. It's like, you guys need a boat for this? What the hell's wrong with you? Yeah.
I've got wings.
And are you still covered up, buddy, or are you going to start flashing people?
I'm still covered up at the moment.
Okay, that's cool. Alex, I'd like for you to roll me a charisma.
Basically, I would have followed Brahmus and Sylownn onto the ship.
Okay.
Ooh, 19.
19. Damn. Sade, this is a tough crowd.
Well, I assume they've never been on a ship before, so they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Right on. That's awesome. And what's cool is, Oma spent quite a lot of time on a ship. I think we even put a skill towards it, didn't we, Alex, when you were crating her? something about being a ship. I don't know what you'd call it, a shipwright or whatever the hell it'd be called. But I think possibly you put something on being a proper crew member of a airship.
Sailing +1 to
Sailing
Okay.
it is. Air sailing. It's all good. It's a thing. Watch ESPN4. It's on there.
Hmm.
I think there's 4 of them now. So
Yes,
she also, dude, what is that? Dodgeball, the movie?
Yeah.
Oh man, what a good movie.
Yeah.
I can quote movies all day. So with that, she also kind of listens to what Sade is doing. Sade is hectic. You said the Raven is up there on the sail of this, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The bird is kind of watching things go along there. Brahmus keeps his eyes in his large, and you guys have seen the picture of what Brahmus looks like. That large side profile of the fine granite and polished and metal jaw looking up and keeping an eye on that bird the whole time. Ignatius, you would notice him keeping an eye on that raven. Okay? Jeremy, I'll try to do you justice, buddy. I know you can't be here, so I know that thing was spooking you out. With that, Sylownn looks a little bit anxious. And when you see her looking out over the side of the ship, you can see her kind of rubbing her hands on this lance that she has. And this thing looks like it's more of a finesse weapon than it is the regular sized dark star that you're used to Vargas wielding. She looks capable and ready. Her helmet is to her side and she goes to put it on and it's a little weird fit and she's kind of fitting it over her face. And when that beak of that thing comes down over her eyes, she looks the real deal. Is there anything you wish to say to her and Brahmus as you guys are getting ready to depart? I'll say at this moment, that's when you were turning around and sharing that moment with Dahan as we were headed down. Is there anything you'd like to say to them, Ron?
I think I would just say that there's apparently never a dull moment in New Gemdar.
Okay. She looks up at you and she just gives you a nod, and you can see her kind of swallow hard. Where the mask is over top of her and is covering up her eyes, you can tell that she's holding on tight to stay brave. The sound of that shriek still going through your and her ears more than anyone else's. You and her probably have some of the most sensitive hearing there is on this ship. Alex, as Dahan gives you that symbol, and you're looking back up at him longingly, just kind of, doing my own thing, you hear Valdera's witty whisper over top of your shoulder. She goes, we got this. This isn't a boys thing. It's time for the girls to play.
Mm-hmm.
She says like that, just really confidently. And as you turn around, she's kind of got that look on her face with an eyebrow raised up. And she goes, I got you. Let's take care of this thing. Okay. Sade, is there any other interaction you would like to have on the way down? You see Iridan, this tiefling that looks fairly ill, grabbing onto the lodestar in the middle of the ship. People would kind of be crowded around with a rune on the ground underneath of Iridan's feet. And he holds on, and Iridan has a very light violet color to his skin and 2 long horns that go back and twist in the back. They're not the ram's horns type. Okay. And he just seems to be a low-level warlock that seems to be more of a scholar than a fighter. We never really talked about who would play his character, but we have a picture of him on the folder of all the NPCs in case you'd ever want to see it. We picked the image of him. He looks in and he says with a long kind of S-tonguey voice, he goes, everyone hold on. I'm taking us down to that creature. Okay? With that, I will now share the screen. Okay. As we descend downward, here we go. I like it. Okay, so let's do this. I like it. If this gets too loud, guys, tell me. Is the volume of that okay? Can you hear my voice okay on top of it? We're good? Okay.
Yeah.
If it gets to be too loud, do not hesitate to tell me, okay? As you guys, as we're flying down, remember, it wasn't snowing, but it was still fairly cold. This was still, what was this, about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning at this point, okay? Finally, you guys have got a long rest, so you got all your stats and your magic points back, thank God. As you're flying down through here, you see this Y-shaped ravine, okay, that the actual creature had burrowed back underneath the snow and has vanished. There's the wreckage of different wagons, a pony that seems to only be partially there. There are parts and goods all over the place. And on the far end of this, there seems to be another wagon turned up on its side. Okay. Within that, you see two dwarven people. Both would be female. Okay. As you're going down over the side of the ship, I would say at this point, Valdera grabs out a eyeglass and is looking over the side of the ship and is yelling out these things at the rest of us. Ignatious, you and Sylownn would be able to see these things from a really far distance off. Okay. It seems that this creature has positioned itself where it is coming up out of bedrock and fighting and destroying these carts and these wagons. There's something about them that's drawing this frostworm to it. Halfway down, about a half mile out, you see the creature resurface again. It comes right out of the side of one of these cliffs. Mind you, and I hope I'm describing this properly, as the land fades away from New Gemdar, it builds into cliffs, and a roadway goes between them, a wide one. Once these cliffs get to be about 50, 60 foot tall, then these two roadways split in a Y, almost like it's cut out of the actual mountains in stone, and it goes into different road and pathways that go up into that mountainous area that becomes dense forest once you reach the Dwarven land. This thing seems to be in the rock, blocking off that path completely, and at this point you actually see the creature stick its head out of the side of one of these canyons and just bust out to the side like this and go over and bite down on another wagon. As it does, it picks up the wagon in one bite, okay, and shakes it and flings it. It's almost like watching one of those three-dimensional 3D movies. I mean, we're still half a mile away, but flings it up into the air. And you hear Sylownn hold her breath while she, as this thing flies, hurls up towards the airship, hangs for a minute in the air, and then falls back down and plummets to the ground. There's a moment there where you think a person was on it, but it's just some kind of sack of food that starts to tumble and fall out of it, and they both land in the snow down below with big puffs and explosions of snow, and you can hear the wreckage from the distance. This is a large, fierce creature. You guys, I'm going to say, are a quarter mile out now. Alex, is there anything particular you are doing as this thing goes back in and goes, fades out of sight? Okay, there are several more carts down below that seem to be scattered about. It seems to be picking and choosing what it's attacking as it wants to reveal itself, and then goes back into the snow and the rock and disappears. I'll let you be first, Alex. Is there anything you're preparing, or anything you're saying to anybody?
I'd like to prepare sacred flames.
Okay, so you're holding it in action, and you are getting sacred flame ready in your hand. So you guys see on her hands like this, she has this owl that comes up made of radiant flames that seems to be perching within her hand. And she is looking down off the bow of the ship and has this thing that is lighting up her face as her hair flies with the great speed of the airship as we're going in towards this creature. Ron, anything that you know about a frostworm, Ignatious knows. You don't have to hold back at all. with that roll you did the other day, you're good.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to say as we go down through here? I'll give you just a few moments to talk.
All right, give me just a second here.
Okay.
Look back through my notes.
Okay. Do you want me to go ahead and go to Sean and give you a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. No pressure, Sean. Sade, where are you positioned? What do you look like? What are you doing?
Well, Sade is in full, like, battle mode. Would Ignatious have shared with us, say, on the journey down, the information he knows about this creature?
Say that again. So I'm not quite sure.
Or, well, would Ron's character have shared, since he's able to identify it, would he have shared, like, information about the creature, that, what it does and all that stuff?
Ron is literally loading right now. He's a loading bar, getting ready to start spilling those beans. I
Okay.
just want to know what you do before he starts on his spiel.
Okay, so then if
You haven't
that's
heard
the
anything
case, then Sade will snap her fingers so that Isadora can be nearby, and she just takes a defensive stance right now because she's never seen a creature that not big
Can you
before.
do patient defense?
Yeah, but that's just the dodge action. So
I know I'm
she's just
messing
gonna.
with you, buddy. It's all
Yeah,
good. Now,
yeah.
is she going back into the sword, or is it on your shoulder?
The sword is gonna for now stay on my hip.
Okay.
Yeah, because she doesn't know how she's gonna handle it right now.
Okay, but is the bird go down on your shoulder then, or stay?
Yeah, the bird. Yeah, bird will come down on my shoulder.
Okay. As that happens, Ignatius, you would see that happen, and you would see Brahmus's face follow it. And as we see him getting down there, Irden says, "We'll be there in moments."
You got real quiet, Brian.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
And how's it now?
Still a little quiet.
Okay. So let me turn the music down just a little bit and see if that helps.
How's he to you guys? Is he quiet or loud?
He seems a little muted, quieted. Yeah.
Okay, let's just see. Okay, what about now, Ron? Is this
Still the
better?
same.
Is it still the same up here?
That is way better.
Okay, so let me see how I want to do this then. I guess I'll just talk like this, everybody. Hi, here, Brian Kynes. Raise up a little bit. Okay, so yeah, I'll just let me see if I can get my mic stand here and do this. Okay, how's that then? That good?
Nope, you're quiet again.
Really? That happened out of nowhere. Wonder why. Let me make sure my connection's good. Just a minute. Okay, how about that?
Same.
Still quiet, huh? Well, that's not worth a shit. Let me pause this and we'll work on our audio, and then I'll come back and we'll get into this in just a minute, okay? Let me pause. If I learn how to cut this out later, we're back. Okay, so we'll go ahead and share screen, go back to our map, share computer sound, bam. And there we go. Okay. So if it happens again, just let me know, guys, all right? Okay. So with that, Ron, you were getting ready to tell us a whole bunch of interesting stuff about what it is that we have gone on to here. You know about frostworms. You wrote the book.
Yeah.
So I'll give you just a couple lines of dialogue here. As we're, remember, times of an essence. Irden has said we're going to be there in moments. He's asking, how are we to descend? With that, Sean, I'm going to let your character and him discuss that to the side. Ron, now I'm going to let you start giving us your words. What's going on, buddy?
Sure. I tell him that it's a giant frost worm, and that we have to be careful. Any damage it does could inflict additional cold damage from the cold that its body generates. As well as if we do manage to kill it, if I remember correctly, I think they may explode.
When you say that, Sylownn moves her head up and looks at you and locks eyes underneath that thing. She says, did you say explode?
Yes.
Her and Brahmus lock eyes. And when that happens, you see Brahmus make a fist like this, and this shield that looks like a medieval shield appears on his arm made out of force energy. And he goes, when that time comes, be certain that both of you are standing next to me. And whoever else can. This isn't going to be fun. Once that's said, Sean, you're talking to him about how you want to approach this cliff. I'll let you wing it, or I'll let you do some kind of check to see how good of an idea you come up with, buddy. I'll let you make the call.
Right now, it's just like I said, Sade just has to stand back and observe because she doesn't know how, especially with the information that the thing is going to explode. So she's going to stand back and see what's going on.
Okay, so as Iridan looks to you for answers, you're like,
I have no idea. I've never encountered something like this before.
Okay, the raven squawks and moves its wings and rustles, and it seems to be unhappy with your lack of confidence in this moment. The raven is being judgy, if you will. As you guys go down, the moment is upon us, and that's what Iridan says. At that point, Sylownn puts her foot over to the edge of the ship. Okay? And as Brahmus reaches out and he says her name, he goes, Sylownn, what are you? She bounds off of the ship, Ron. Okay? As she does, you see her stick her foot onto the lance. You can see that there are two fins on the back of the lance that resemble the fins on the back of her helmet. And she uses one of them as a foothold, and she starts looking down, and she looks like she's riding this lance at a feather fall speed as she has cast a spell, and she is descending a little bit slower than the actual ship is descending downward towards an up reaching cliff edge, which you see in the picture below. Okay? Any words that you want to say as that goes down to comfort Brahmus, as the construct itself just looks over to you completely puzzled by what's going on?
I would, I guess I would look at him and say, she definitely doesn't look like the same Sylownn we left a few days ago.
The uhs and the ums and not knowing what to say actually playing brilliantly of what's going on. So you guys, whenever I'm asking you, like Sean just now, I don't know where you should land. Ron's like, I don't know what to say here. That's perfectly fine, because that's what your characters do. It's not always got to be perfect,
Right. Yeah, he's, because she was a timid little thing when
Yeah.
And
although
broken.
she still is frail. Like, I wouldn't call her frail. I'd call her healthy, but she's still a smaller person. She's maybe 5'8", which in avian, they're not exactly thick-skinned. What she's wearing is a light armor that only covers 60% of her, but it is built out of replicant pieces of that wyvern and shaped out of different things. Someone's helped her build this. Okay. Iridan takes the ship down in a more solid piece of the actual valley below, and stops it and hovers it down and starts to power down. You see him take the lodestar forward, and try to settle it out as the elements inside of it swirl violently. As all of a sudden snow gets pushed up off the ground, almost like helicopter blades would kick up grass and stuff like that. It blows over the sides of the ship, and you see yourself 10 or 15 foot off the actual ground as he starts to take the last little bit even slower. As that happens, you hear another shriek. This one even louder, and it seems to echo up from in between these canyons and smack off the walls. And it seems to be coming up like it's around the corner of one of these cliff edges that you just can't quite put your eyes on. This one, I will want you guys, everyone roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Okay, give me some numbers when you know. Let's start with Alex.
I got a 7.
Okay.
I wish.
Okay. Oh shit, really? You're envious of a 7.
Yeah.
Alex, someone replaced you tonight. Ron's the dark horse, buddy. Okay.
I got a 3.
Oh, fuck. Did you really?
Yeah.
What about you, Sean?
I got an unnatural 20.
That is unnatural. Nice monk shit. Hey, you were ready. You were just dodging stuff in your stance. The raven comes down and puts its wings over your head and says, "You're muffs. You're muffs." So, God,
See, outside of character, I know what this thing does. So I'm kind of like...
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I'm like...
Yeah.
Well, Ron gave us some heads up on some shit before we end up flying down here out of unorthodoxly. Yeah. Go ahead, Ron, roll me for Brahmus.
Okay. I rolled a 16. I don't know what his modifiers are.
That's fine. And I'm going to roll for Valdera. She rolled a natural 17. Okay, you guys all take, and this is a distance off, mind you. This is around an edge, and you're just getting the background of this. You all take, oh shit, 3 points of thunder damage, like sonic damage, like it hurts your mind and your ears for just a moment, the ones of you that got low rolls. Okay, it's a very small taste of things to come possibly, and armor doesn't help with this shit. Okay. Once that happens, the ship comes down and he doesn't land it. Iriden says loudly over top of the sound of the wind elemental gusts hitting the ground below and the snow flying up, says, "I fear to drop any lower. This is where you get off." What's everybody doing?
I remove my cloak and take to the air.
Okay, as you do, Ron, you get an extra boost of 5 foot further than you planned on going. Because of the updraft that's bouncing off the bottom and kicking up the sides, you actually flip your wings out, and it's almost like a kite grabs a nice gust, and you take upwards into the air. So whatever you planned on going, go an extra 5 foot from that on accident. Okay. So, and that is why I kept your shadow separate from your picture, Ron. So, and mind you, this is just getting everybody on the map. We'll get into this. Sade, I'll go to you. How would you like to dismount?
What was my catchphrase again? She's gonna do some
stupid jump monk
shit. And
yes.
She's gonna get off the ship and kind of land on the ground somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw for flamboyance.
Okay.
Shadow Monk landing.
Do what?
Shadow Monk landing, like Deadpool when it's superhero landing.
Yeah, I want to see what this looks like.
That's a 24.
Are you shitting me? Okay, and I have something special for you, Sean.
Uh-huh.
He's like swan diving.
He is. It's nice. Everyone holds up scorecards over the side of the Rosalia's eye. Sade, you may thank me for this later. Check this out.
Mm-hmm.
At your side, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 3 images after it because it has that kind of dimension that displacement look to it, and that is Isabella.
Yeah.
All right.
So like as she's jumping off the ship, Isabella also like comes off her shoulder and like Sade kind of swan dives, and then you see Isabella kind of like falling in the same way. And then as Sade lands, Isabella lands on her shoulder.
Okay. And I'll keep her there by you for now, and that will work just fine. Okay. Brahmus is going to jump down off the ship, and he is going to make a big time thud. As he does, Oma, I would like for you to roll a dexterity saving throw, because he rocks the ship and you were on the edge, and I want to make sure it doesn't rock you overboard. Brahmus doesn't know his own size yet.
You said dexterity?
Absolutely, I did.
Okay, I got 14.
That'll work. It almost takes you over. You almost go a little bit too far too quick, but you're able to maintain your composure and hold on. How would you like to dismount? Are you still keeping your sacred flame ready, or are you doing anything else? You do not see the creature right now. It seems to be at the end of this Y. And let me pan out a little bit so you can get an idea. I'm trying to describe it the best I can. We just need to, you know. So here's the long valley coming in, okay? And there's these two passageways. Now you could have swore, see how these cliffs are? They're kind of much higher up here on the sides than they are on the bottom. You saw this thing kind of stick its head out of one of these sides earlier. So it's able to drill through some of this rock, and there could be softer earth down below it. It could just look frozen because of the time of year as well. But it seems to be up one of these paths as this sonic sound bellowed out of one of these pathways and bounced onto you all.
Gotcha. I would like to go ahead and... Can I go ahead and summon Mina, the eagle spirit?
Absolutely you can. And you're going to love what I've done. Okay, Ron, about how far off the ground are you, buddy? What do you want to say?
How high was the airship when I went off of it?
About 10 foot.
So I'd probably be about, with the extra, I'd probably be about 40 feet up right now.
Holy shit, Ron. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to let you all know something. Ron is off the map, but his shadow is there. And where would you like to have your shadow? Oh, let me do this again here. Sorry, hold on. Ignatious. Okay, now, have I got it now? Yeah, there you go. Isn't that neat? That really gives the illusion of you flying up really high. Where would you like your shadow to be?
Right now I'm still back right about there.
Okay. I'm going to say, Sade, as far as this group here, where do you want to be placed at?
I want to be placed near, kind of like somewhat in between Sylownn and Brahmus.
Always wanted. Done right. Installed by one expert technician.
Okay.
All in one day. Book your free virtual or in-home design consultation.
I'll put you kind of like in half cover around the cliff face.
Sure.
Okay. Valdera, of course, is going to be up there beside Brahmus. All right. And with your character, Naomi, God, I love being able to create this stuff. You're summoning out Mina, correct?
Yes.
And watch this. There you go. I even added some flames around her for you. Let me move her a little bit. And where would you like to have her position? Didn't you like that? Where would you like to have her position? Remember, when you summon her, I think how many feet away from you can it be?
I don't know that it said.
I know there's a range it has to stay in.
Right about there.
That'll work. Okay. So yeah, there's a range that they have to stay within of you, and it says there in the description.
Okay.
And if it doesn't, we're going to say, I thought it was 60 foot. It's either 30 foot. It's
Okay.
either your movement, your full movement, or 60 foot. Okay. So with that, a very colorful group of people, as Sylownn herself slowly comes down to fall and find herself on top of this cliff as she lands, not very fast, but slowly falls down and lands and looks down to Brahmus, and Brahmus looks back up to you with this knowing look. You and her are close to the same height off the ground, Ron.
Okay.
You're about 5 or 10 foot up higher than she is. This cliff's about 30 foot. Here on this edge peeking out. Okay? As that happens, and you guys land in the distance, okay? I want you all to do a perception check.
Okay.
And tell me, Alex, I want you to roll for you and for Sylownn, and Ron, you'll be rolling for you and Brahmus. When you're rolling for another character, here's the trick. You roll the 1d20, but then I have you roll a 1d4 added with that. That is a roll to see what their modifier would be. That's why I do that, if you've ever wondered.
Huh.
Alex is like, huh, I'll be damned, Brian. Good to know.
Brahmus got a 6.
I swear, Alex, what are you doing?
And I got a 20.
Okay. Alex, put him to shame. What'd you get?
I got a 9.
And did you just cut audibly or cuss audibly? I think you did. That's fantastic. She says, son of a bitch.
Okay, and that's adding a 1d4, right?
1d20 and 1d4.
4.
And that's for, so my brand new Sky Lancer gets a 4. But my goodness. All right, fine, whatever.
Not very observant.
I'm telling you what, Sean, what did Shade get? Please help us.
21.
Thank you. Let me see what Valdera gets. Valdera rolls a natural 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're cursed, I tell you. So Ron, you and Shade sense and can hear something coming. You feel this rumble in your feet. You're able to perceive there's something that is getting ready to happen. I'll give you a quick second to say something. Sean, what is it you would say in 7 words or less? That's 1 word. Moving on, Ron.
Yeah.
7 words or less. What do you say?
I would say that it's coming and it's vulnerable to fire.
Now see, Sean. Now that's how you spend your set. Well done, buddy. Well done. Oh gosh, Ron just became Ron the Magnificent. It's all good stuff. All right, so with that, something, and I'm very, very pleased to do this, comes into view. As you see on this cliff face to the southern part of the map, rubble and things start to trickle down this cliff face. Snow starts to drift off and blow in the wind off of it as if something is coming and is disturbed on this side. As something comes into view. Just a minute. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh, I love my life. So, This thing emerges and bursts up out of the snow with a loud screech, breaking through the actual cliff face, the long shadow of it laying out and showing down into the middle of the path. All right. As it does, just one moment here, I'm going to check something out, and I have some rolls you all are going to need to do. That is the frost worm, folks, and it is not happy. All right. You see here how I want to do this. Okay, now I need you all to roll another Constitution saving throw. Ron, I'm going to give you and Sade advantage on this because you heard it coming and you knew that it did the shriek and things, and maybe you were thinking about covering up or doing something of that nature because you heard it coming.
Well, I rolled a natural 20 with advantage. Thank you. It was a 7.
Okay. What'd you get, Sade?
Coincidentally, same thing. Natural 20.
Are you shitting
total,
me?
No, so a total of 22.
Cool. Alex, what'd you get?
11.
Okay. So,
Brahmus got a 17.
okay, that works. Okay, that works. That's good. And then let's go ahead. I'll roll for Valdera. Okay. And would you please roll for Sylownn? Roll, for me, roll a 1d 20 plus 3.
10.
Okay. So, I believe Oma and Sylownn are going to take... Ooh, I don't like it. Okay. Ooh, I don't like it at all. Okay. Oma takes 7 points of sonic damage and is dazed. And I will explain to you the dazed condition in just a moment. And I take 9 points of damage. That's Sylownn. And she is dazed. Just a minute here. Okay, so wherever you're at, make sure you write down that you're dazed under your conditions if you're keeping track of that kind of thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so dazed means that you have a disadvantage on melee attacks and concentration checks, okay? And your movement is halved. And ability modifiers are at disadvantage as well, or ability checks and things like that are at disadvantage as well. And that is going to last for, I'll tell you, just this one turn. So until the end of our next turn, Sylownn and Oma are dazed and have taken that damage, okay?
Okay.
And as we go through this, guys, if you are bloodied, which means you're knocked down below 50% of your hit points, you need to shout out loud and let everyone else around you know, because we're a team here. And if you're on death's door, which means another hit or two and you're done, you definitely need to let somebody know. Okay? So, with that, we are going to go ahead and roll initiative, everybody, because it's officially on. All right? So, the bad thing is this thing can reach you. Unless you're doing something special, it's going to be hard for you to reach it. I'm going to roll for my 2 characters. You guys go ahead and get yours done, your totals. Now, mind you, like I was talking to Sean, your initiative is 1d20 roll. You're going to add your proficiency bonus to it. You're going to add any skills points you have towards anticipation. And then you're adding the ability modifier that best describes what you're doing. So if you're doing a strength-based attack, and that's what your plan is, you're adding your strength modifier to your initiative roll. if you're casting a spell and wisdom is your spell casting ability, and you're going to add your wisdom modifier to it. That's how initiative works. It's based on what you're planning on doing the moment you go. It may change, but it's what you're planning on doing right now that matters. Okay?
Alrighty.
What do you want me to do for Brahmus? A
I'm gonna-
1d4?
Brahmus, actually, no, I think he gets a 1d6. Okay, and I'll do Sylownn.
22 for Brahmus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Oh, I like that. Okay, that's actually pretty interesting. Okay. Roll with disadvantage on your initiative. Roll another d20. You have to take the lowest of the two because you are dazed, Alex.
Okay.
Did I give you Iggy's roll?
Not yet, no.
Okay, he rolled a 15.
Okay, I
Or
got 21.
15.
Okay. Okay, what'd you get, Alex?
21.
With disadvantage, really?
Yeah, because my
You are-
initiative is +9.
Hell yes. And remember, we have the mechanic where you go, and then Mina goes right after you. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. Brahmus was what again, buddy? 20 something is like 22 or
22.
something? 22. Okay.
22.
And Sean?
27.
Freaking rogues, monks, and shit. Oh, damn. Okay. So, as this creature comes out of there, and I can't do the sound that it does, but it has this kind of, this kind of repercussing kind of rattle that comes up out of its mouth as it jumps up and screams down on top of all you, this long shadow cast across the valley below. The first person to go, of course, is going to be Sade. Let me put my order down here and I'll tell you who's next. Sade is first. Brahmus will be on deck. Ron, all you gotta do is tell me, do you want to do something magical, like a distance? Do you want to do something defensive-wise for everybody, or would you like to try to set yourself up to do something physical? What are you thinking?
Couple of quick questions about Brahmus.
Please.
Does he have any kind of damage resistances or anything like that?
He is a tanky son of a gun. He has some damage resistances. The thing is, everything that hits Brahmus, his armor points are really thick and really good. You can't exactly kill Brahmus unless you do non-lethal damage and jar Merc to death on the inside of him. It's almost, have you watched the movie Pacific Rim, guys?
Yeah.
Great movie. When Brahmus is inside of, or when Merc is inside of Brahmus and they're fighting, he gets thrown around like that. So anything that hits Brahmus in any way, Merc takes non-lethal damage for it. Okay? And to beat through Brahmus, you would have to do almost 60 points of damage in one hit to be able to breach right through him. Okay? And he's made out of a material that's grade 7. So it takes 7 points of regular damage to do 1 point of damage to Brahmus's body. And he's got like 60 something armor points. It's sick. He's almost completely covered, but Brahmus is made of several different things. So if you breach Brahmus's armor class, which is high, okay, then it gets in between the grooves and hits something that only has a damage resistance of 3-1, which is like leather or wood, okay? So as far as taking stuff like that physically wise, you're good all day, and I'll keep track of the numbers for you.
I was more thinking like cold damage and stuff. Because this thing does some pretty nasty cold damage.
You have an ability you can do that will raise an energy shield up on your arm that will cover the very front half of you and probably one or other 2 people in front of you. And it would shield you from a blast coming from the forward. So is that what you're thinking about doing?
Yeah.
Okay. I will keep that in mind, okay? We'll just kind of go through it since you don't have the character sheet. we'll just animate. I'll just let you make decisions, okay?
All right.
Okay, so you're on deck. Let me get my rest of them here real quick. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. That's 3 right there. Oh, shit. Gotta redo some things. Almost got it. Almost got it, I promise. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, we're ready to go. Sade, you are first. Ask
Okay.
questions, do your thing. You are
So Sade is thinking. Okay.
around the side of the cliff.
How far is the head of that worm from Sade's position?
Okay, well the thing is, you got a 30-foot cliff between you and the top. You're on the ground
Right.
floor. Okay.
Sure.
So you got that 30-foot there, and then you've got. I think I have a grid here. I can pull up just a minute. Yeah, check this out. I've got a grid I can add. It's only because I'm cool. So you've got, after you do the 30 foot up, you've got 5, 10, 15, 20.
Okay.
20 foot, 25 to get around the base of it.
Uh-huh.
And then this creature is sticking up out of the ground 35 foot. So if you were going to do a straight angle, if you got up the cliff at 30, I would give you an angle of the distance. I'm going to say it'd be another 40 foot. So 30 to get up the cliff and 40 to go up at an angle to it.
Okay. So Sade is going to use her full 55 feet of movement to get as close to this worm as possible.
Okay.
And Isadora also gets a turn right after me, right?
Yeah. Now you said you wanted to talk about the head of it. You're not the body of it.
Yeah,
You can reach with that.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the head. How far the head is from.
Okay. You're going to be able to get to the base of it, but then it's going to be 35 foot up to get there.
That's fine. And then Sade is going to hold her action for Isadora's turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, just like we do with all the creatures in here, Isadora's going to go right after you.
Right.
Okay, so you're holding your action.
Okay.
And you are underneath the shadow of this thing, and you're close to the base of it now where you would be able to attack it back here.
Right.
You're holding your action. Are you doing anything else?
I'm just going to... Actually, I will hold my action until Isadora's turn.
Okay. Now, it's Isadora's turn right now.
I would like Isadora to fly to the head of that thing and try and land on top of it.
Okay. Roll me an attack roll for Isadora, and all you're doing is, all you need to do is land on it without getting hurt. So at this point, it's not armor class breach. You're just wanting to hit its armor class primary to touch it. You're not trying to breach it.
Right.
So go ahead and roll, and I'll tell you if she's able to get up there or not. She can use your stats. I'm perfectly fine with that.
16. So 16 plus 5 is 21.
That is enough.
Okay. And my action that I'm holding, I want to use 2 key points to cast silence on Isadora, so that it encompasses the whole head of the worm.
And using her as your focal point.
Yeah.
Nicely done, buddy. Okay, so let's do this with Isadora.
Seeing that this screeching is causing people to be dazed.
That's smart. I like it, buddy. And she's your focus point. I will allow that. So let me see here. I want to move you, Isadora. I'm going to give Isadora her own folder, because what you're doing is going to be kind of looking over top of this creature. Okay. Okay. Let's say you're flying above the head. Make a folder here real quick, and then I'm going to make your silence area. Okay. So now that I have done that, how big an area does the silence encompass?
20 feet sphere, 20-foot sphere.
Okay. And what are you thinking, like a shadowy gray color for that?
Yeah, kind of like a shadow gray.
Okay.
And so in the sphere of silence, no sound can be generated from it or pass through it. People are deafened while inside. People are also immune to thunder damage. And however, spells requiring a verbal component cannot be cast in the sphere as well. So, heads up.
Well, thanks, buddy. How's that do you? That looks pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So you got your gray area over top of there, and we're going to put that all inside. Bam. Okay. Good job. And there's no saving throw for the worm on that. You're just up there by the head, keeping that silence on it. That is a very well done play, sir. I like it. Okay, is that...
And then, And then, that's it. That's the end of my turn.
Okay, do you have a bonus action or anything?
I can bonus action patient defense to spend another key point, so...
Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
I like making them burn through them key points, Ron. Go ahead and write down that you've spent those, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Good first turn, Mr. Sneaky Pants. That'll be my nickname, okay? Brahmus was on deck. Brahmus is going to jump out now, and he is going to put up a shield. Where would you like to move to in order to do that? When you put up this shield, Brahmus, his movement is halved, and it covers like a 15-foot area in front of you. Okay, so whatever area you're facing in, it comes off your arm, and instead of being a shield right in front of you, it like spreads out and gets wider. Okay, almost like the windshield of a car, if you will. And it will deflect all kinds of... Well, it actually has a hit point amount. And once that many hit points are broken, it shatters. You can't take offensive actions while you're holding it, but you can hold it in place and move it half your movement until it's broken. So that's Brahmus's form of concentration on it. Okay? Is that what you would like to do?
I would like to, yes. I would like to approach the base of this worm to attack it, though.
Well, now, that's cool. We can do that, but it's also 30 foot up on a cliff.
Right. So I got to figure out how to get up there, because he probably can't climb up a cliff very well.
Well, I mean... I don't know. I mean, he's a pretty strong guy. He's not very dexterous. So you've got 5, 10, 15. I'll say, because remember, we count diagonal. So 20 foot, you're at the base of the cliff. And he's got 30 foot of movement. Okay? Now you have, let me think as far as ranged for him. We won't really get into this too much because he's, Jeremy's not here tonight.
Right.
But you could do a, you can use your bonus action to incorporate a cantrip into your arm, and then you can fire off cantrips almost like you're firing them off of like a ancient cannon or something like that. So I think you have, you're able to invoke Shocking Grasp, Chill Touch, Firebolt, all those kind of things. You want to do a Firebolt at it while you're getting up there close?
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Okay. So let me go ahead and move you. Okay, now if you spend your action to do that, you know your bonus action is also to invoke the shield, so you can only do one or the other.
All right, well, since I'm down off the cliff, I wouldn't have put up the shield yet.
Okay. Sounds good, buddy. All right, so I'll find you here. There you are, Brahmus. I'm going to move you 5, 10, 15, 20 foot to the base of the cliff. You're in the shadow, and I want you guys to appreciate the fact that the shadow overlays your character as you walk through. Check it out. That's all I'm saying. It's a little bit of Brian magic. I'm really impressed with myself at the moment. That's all it is. Immersive. Say it with me. Immersive. Okay. So with that, and is the music too loud, or are you guys still good?
I'm all right.
All right, cool. Because we got epic shit going on. I should have muted the music as soon as Sean put up that silent spell just to be sarcastic. It's all good. It's like, it just affects everything. It's
You
ridiculous.
hit everybody mute, and then
Yeah, and then Ron's mic goes off and he's talking into nothing again. It's just mute across the board. Just everybody. All right, man.
No one wants to hear my teenagers in the background. Trust me.
It's all good, buddy. All right, so you're doing a firebolt, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to roll a 1d4. Tell me what you get.
Nope. I got a 3.
Okay, so you take Brahmus's body takes 3 points of damage. So keep, if I'm not mistaken, well, you know, we're just gonna have to wing this for now. Go ahead and write down the 3, Brahmus, and put down 3 to non-lethal to Merc. So you're going to have Brahmus's outer, Brahmus's inner, and then you're going to have Merc. So right there you want to take 3 non-lethal to Merc, okay?
Yes.
Okay. And as you do that, you see Brahmus, and he raises his arm up like this, and his hand, actually he crunches, he has these large like stone and metal infused fingers that kind of clench together, and you can hear the stone grind. And as he makes a fist, you see a red aura start up around the actual fist of it. And as he does, he pulls his arm back a little bit, and he throws his hand out like that and opens up his fingers. And a firebolt cast at 1 level higher than its base level flies at the creature. I need you to do me a ranged spell attack, Ron. Roll me a 1d20 and I'll tell you how you did.
14.
It hits, but it does not breach. As you shoot it at the creature is now looking down around the base of the mountain and seeing things move around. And as you shoot up at it, it actually hits off the actual hard scales on the outside of the body. It doesn't find a vulnerable area. Go ahead and roll the damage for that firebolt. Cast it a 2nd level casting.
Well, with Firebolt, it doesn't change anything till 5th level, I believe.
Well, he casts it, he does it a little bit differently. He would cast it stronger at that level. He would cast it the 2nd level of strength.
Okay, so he's casting it at 5th level.
Right. You know,
Okay.
and like I say, it's just an ability within him, and all the cantrips that he does this way will be cast at their 2nd stage of potency.
13.
Okay, 13 points of damage as it hits the outer shell.
And that
Of
is
this
fire
creature.
damage, right?
It is, yes. And I am doing the math. As that hits, you do see, however, and Ignatious, roll perception check.
28.
You do see that this fire seems to get in, leach around the actual scales, and you hear the scale sizzle a little bit on its back as it dries up this mucus that seems to be on its smooth underbelly and stuff. And you see it, although it's not very much damage, you do see it pay attention to that mark as if it did hurt it more than a regular attack would have. Okay? You said 13?
Yes.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, got it. That was your bonus action to infuse that in it. You used your action to shoot it, and then you used your movement. You still have a reaction, and Brahmus has counterstrike and punishing counterstrike. Okay, so keep those things in mind. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No.
Okay, I'm going to have you stand right there in the wake and shadow of this large creature. With that, it will be Oma. It is your turn. You got Mina over there with you, flying up ahead. What would you like to do?
I would like to go ahead and cast Sacred Flame at the creature.
Okay, what's the range of Sacred Flame?
60 feet.
Okay, I'm going to say if you step up just 5 foot, you'd be able to cast it from there and hit it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Mina,
I'd like to go ahead and
okay. Not
oh,
Mina. Let's do Laomi. Yeah. Oh, bug's ass. Hold on. These things can be really fun sometimes, guys. Hold on here. I'm going to say if you step up to here, and mind you, that globe of silence is way above you in the sky, so it's not affecting you exactly. Okay? And I did move Mina up forward with you. Is that okay, or you want me to leave her? Well, I'll leave her where she was. I can move her back. Move Mina back to where she was here real quick. There she was. Okay, so you're going to cast Sacred Flame. Go ahead and roll your spell attack.
Sacred Flame is a dex save, I believe.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Let me double check real quick.
She has it written down, I believe. She has all of her spells right there on spell cards.
the target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 radiant damage.
Okay, and are you casting at what level? I think you cast it at a potency higher up, don't you? I think she does 2d8 with hers.
Yeah,
Fifth.
2d8.
Yep, there you go.
At fifth
See, I'm
level.
just trying to help you. I'm just trying to give you d8s. You know, Merry Christmas, Alex. Go ahead, and then what you need to roll is your DC. So you're rolling a 1d20, and then you're going to add that modifier that is your DC modifier.
Okay.
Which is written down there. Do you remember where that's at?
Spell save DC. I found it.
Yep, you add that to 1d20 and tell me what I have to beat.
17.
Okay. And I fail. I take the full 2d8 damage from that.
Alrighty. Nine damage.
Okay. Just a minute here. Dun, 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 dun. Just a minute here to write some things down. Okay. And it is a, what is it for non-lethal? Ooh, goodness. Okay. Okay. You see the thing hit it, and it looks like it hits the scales and damages them, but it doesn't seem like it penetrated and got into the actual creature itself. It is very tough and durable without that precise hit. It didn't even try to dodge out of the way. It pretty much is still paying attention to Brahmus down below it, and your Sacred Flame did, in fact, connect. You've used 5 foot of movement, and you've used your action. What would you like to do now?
I'd like to use a bonus action to cast Shield of Faith on Brahmus.
Okay. Now, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but remember we did a merge spell with you. Did you happen to see that?
No.
I added it into your folder, and it is cool. It does a fire effect that would also incorporate him to where the first person to try to attack him takes fire damage as well. It's a Shield of Radiant Flame or something like that. I forget the name of it. I didn't know if you happen to see it or not.
No, I hadn't been able to find it yet.
Okay. So basically how it works is this. You're going to cast the Shield of Faith on him, which increases his armor class by 2. His armor class primary, right? So Ron, write that down for Brahmus there. He has a +2 to ACP, as long as she has concentration on it. And also, the first thing to attack him, once a turn, while that is held on there, takes 1d8 + 1 fire damage. 1 time per turn when he's attacked, while he has that shield on him. Okay? And that was something you did a merge spell with, Alex. All right? So, and it's where you added your sacred flame and you added it to your shield of faith spell and put the two together. Okay, it's merge spell does some really, really cool shit.
Okay.
Okay, so with that takes your major action, your bonus action. You got some good stuff. Just for the hell of it, around Brahmus, let's go ahead and put that on him, okay? So, Brahmus, buddy, I got good news for you. You got some shit coming to you. Let's do, let's just do a red shape for now, and we'll do something fancier later. Okay, let's make this, like a orange. Yeah, that'll be cool. Okay, let's do a circle. I'll make it a little bit bigger than the square. Yeah, like that. Okay, and then let's go ahead and knock its opacity down a little bit. And we'll put that behind Brahmus. I like it. Okay, now let's move it over to him. There you go. And he has that effect on him now. That is relevant. It's an elephant. It's relevant because you can see behind him, I'm going to put down here, Shield of Faith. Fiery, F-S-O-F. Flashoff. Fiery Shield of Faith. Okay. And now that is on him. Cool. All right. Is that the end of your turn? Do you want to move anywhere else, or are you good where you're at, Oma?
I'm good where I'm at.
Okay. The next person up in the turn. My pencil here. Oma is done. Okay, the next person up number 4 was Valdera.
Wait,
Mike.
when,
Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you. She's like,
sorry.
Mina's got to go. So Mina, what is she doing? And you know you have all kinds of neat things you can do with her. So you just go ahead and let me in on it.
How about you?
I like her little intermission sounds. Okay, and you like to do what? She's thinking about everybody.
Okay.
And the person going next is going to be Valdera. And after Valdera is going to be Sylownn. And then it will be Iggy. Okay?
Hopefully there'll be some worm left when I get there.
Oh, hey, Ron. There's going to be plenty of worm left, buddy. You don't need to worry about that at all. And then you need to, yeah, and you're seeing that unfold. You're like, oh, there's a lot of worm. there's just a lot.
Books don't do it justice.
Nope, not really. I've tried to make it as graphically cool as I could, but
It's good.
yeah, I tried. It's pretty neat, right? Oh, it gets better. Dun dun dun. The DM's keeping secrets. I cast fishing hook. Okay. No, thank you. If it weren't for Alex, I just wouldn't do this shit, you know? I appreciate. Okay, so now that we've given you about an hour, Alex, no pressure. What is it that your fiery eagle is doing?
Casting Scorching Ray.
Scorching Ray. What is the distance on Scorching Ray?
120 feet.
Well, shit, you could do it from right there, or you could even back up and do it. What would you like to do? You can move her wherever you'd like. Every square is 5 foot.
Just right there is fine for now.
I like it. Stay on your ground. How many Scorching Rays is she casting?
Create 3 rays of fire.
Alrighty. Roll to do spell attack rolls with them, and you know which one to add to that. That's not the one you add to your DC. That's the other one. correct?
Uh,
Yeah, because one of those, you understand that. And I don't mean to speak to you as if you don't know. I just want to make sure you do. One's for making DCs and one's for doing spell attacks.
right.
Okay.
Um,
I'm going to yell real quick. Hold on, guys. Go ahead and do your thing. I'm going to mute myself for just 1 second. You can say whatever you did whenever you're ready. Alex, tell me what your 3 rolls are.
okay. Two, 5, and 2.
Okay, hold on. So you were just doing 3 attack rolls.
Oh wait, that was a 2d6 for each one,
Oh, hold on.
right?
Okay, no, I'm sorry. It's okay. It's perfect. It's my fault. So you're going to roll 1d20, and you're going to add your range spell attack modifier to that and give me that total number. That's your attack roll. And you're making 3 attack rolls because this thing is able to cast 3 of these fire bolts or scorching rays at once. Okay?
Okay, sorry, I got a little lost.
It's okay. So you add your d20 to your roll. Tell me what it is, and I'll tell you if it hit or not. Because if you rolled a 2, 5, and a 2, I'm kicking you out. You're done. Can't do it.
Sorry.
Retire that character now.
Okay. And this is plus the spell attack modifier.
Absolutely.
Okay, so 13.
Okay. First one, it actually is looking over at Brahmus, and when this ray comes at it, for some reason, the bird shoots it, and the propulsion of it seems to knock it off its flight path just a little bit, and it goes wide. It doesn't even come close to hitting the creature, which is making you worry about Mina. What's the second one do? Not there, it'll fall. Thank you, sweetie.
22.
A 22 hits, but it does not breach. And then tell me about the third one.
Give me something. There we go. That's how long.
Here you go. What'd she roll? That's good.
28.
That one breaches. So on that last one, you're able to hit it in the underbelly area where there's none of these heavy plates. I'm going to say you actually get it kind of in the corner of the jaw there, as when you're peppering it with these, when Mina's peppering it with these hits, it draws its attention. It's like, and it looks over, and it's 3 parts of its jaw start to open up. He hears, yeah! This weird kind of sound come out of it. And as that happens, it opens up and it hits it right there in that tendon in between its jaw parts. Okay, so the second attack, I want you to roll damage. That's going to hit the outside of it. And the third attack is going to be straight damage to the creature. No deductions, because you hit in the vulnerable area. That makes sense to everybody? Okay. Sean's like 3 seconds later. Oh yeah, it's good. I'm just waiting my turn. I'm waiting to try to paralyze something that's 70 foot long. I'm just waiting to stun it, Brian. Oh,
So
go ahead, Alex. I'm sorry.
So this is the part where on a hit it takes 2d6 fire damage.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. Six.
Okay. And that is the one to hit the outside of it. And then you're going to do, this next one does damage straight to its body. So go ahead and roll 2d6 again for the third scorching ray.
Four.
Oh, okay. 4. And like I say, and it screamed when you hit it that time. With that, is there anything else that Mina is doing on her turn?
Well,
I don't think so.
well, I will comment that You saw it scream, but you didn't hear anything coming from it.
Well played, buddy. Yeah. You might as well just, this is the Ron worm, pretty much. It
Yeah.
pretty much is. Let's just be fair. Okay.
Got its mute on.
All right. So now it's Valdera's turn. Okay. As long as that's all right with Alex, she about whipped my ass last time. She's like, no, my bird goes, buddy. So, Valdera is going to go. Okay. So, let's see here. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, she's going to move down here to this spot, taking 30 foot of movement. Just a moment here. Let me find her. Where are you at, Valdera? Aha, you're way down here. You were such a loner. All right, so Valdera, I love that picture of her too. As it goes through the shadow, because it still makes me happy that I can do that. Okay, and as I am down there, I'm going to see if I can reach it with this or not. I don't know if I can. We're going to see. I have something that could really help me here if it'll let me do it. Let's try, will that reach it? 5, 10, 15, that'd be like 50 foot from there. Let me see if that'll actually reach it. Okay, or I can throw it out straight out. Nope, I can't reach it from there. So she is going to do the, okay. So she yells out what almost seems like this barbaric war cry as she takes that large great sword off of her side and pulls it and smacks it up against the cliffside. As it does, some snow rains down on top of her, and as she looks up, you see her neck start to stretch out and her shoulders seem to widen. Not that she's gaining in size, but she seems to be intensifying herself in some way. As she does, she throws her head back and throws her hand through her hair and flips all of her hair back like that with wild eyes and looks at the creature and prepares herself with something. She has intensified herself to some degree, and she is holding what seems to be a crackling lightning effect into her blade and preparing that. Okay, and that is going to be her turn, and she is going to hold her ground, and then she may go up, and if she's holding an action, if that thing comes down to attack one of us, she can break loose of that. Okay? So, the next person to go after Valdera is going to be Sylownn. I've been waiting for this. This will be fun. Okay. So, Sylownn is over here kind of hidden because this creature is dwarfing her. She's back here on this cliff face. So this thing's 30 foot tall. Well, 35 foot tall, correct? Okay. So, Ron, you watch this happen. She actually takes her lance and spins it in her hands. And as she does, she takes a stance and she jumps straight up into the air. Okay. Let me write down her magic points. Okay, let's go ahead and do -3. Okay. She bounds up into the air. And when she does, she seems to take on some kind of sonic effect. Because sonic damage has hit her, she's able to embrace that. And you see this quiver and shake of some kind of thunderous sonic energy ball seem to form around the end of her lance as she descends with almost a gust of wind to her back, almost like the gust of wind spell. Okay? When she does, She sees the silence and she comes down and tries to pierce it halfway down its body. Its back is facing her, so she's hitting an armored part. Sean, you see this as she flies overhead and tries to go into this creature. It is craziness what's going on. Okay. Let me get back to this here real quick. So as she comes in, I'm going to roll for an attack. Alex, I would like for you to roll a 1d20. And I want you to add 12 to it, and we'll see if that hits, if she needs to use weapon specialization or not. I've got an extra 1d4 in my pocket in case I need it.
The 14?
So a 12 plus 2?
Yes.
Oh my goodness gracious. I don't think there's anything I can do. Nope, okay. So with that, as she goes to come down on the side of this thing, Ron, and she lands on it, and her feet go up against it, and she lands, but when she goes to swing the weapon, it glances off and she loses her footing because this thing is a lot more slipperier than she had planned on it being with slime. She goes to spin off the side. It makes you hold your breath for just a minute. You're thinking she's bit off more than she can chew. And maybe this was all just her trying to act tough. You know what I mean? It would scare you, definitely. Let me roll to see how she recovers from this. That's not bad. Okay. I can't wait for you to look at this character and see the shit I'm actually doing. As she does, she's actually acrobatically able to bound off of the creature, and she lands unharmed on the ground below the creature. But she is within just 10 foot of the base of it now. The attack did not work, and that used her bonus action and her movement. She's an awesome character, but she's kind of an all or nothing character. Either it works or it doesn't. And when she lands, she is just about right behind you, a little bit over here, Sean, okay? And just to give you an idea, let me do something really quick. So she's back here behind you. See her? Okay. Now I'm going to bring him back into view. I like doing this way. There's shit you can do on this you can't do on other things. I love it. Okay, so that is her turn. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, so now Iggy, buddy, it's you.
Alrighty. First, how far away is the raven from the head of the worm?
I will let you, Sean, roll me a one. What's the range of that? The radius has to be 20 foot. So I'm going to say it's
20
about
foot.
10 foot. It's probably 10 foot above it.
10 foot?
Yeah,
Plus,
it's a 20 foot radius. So
over or under 10 foot? Because what I want to cast has got a 10 foot radius, and I need to know if the bird's going to be in it before I cast it.
Do me a
the bird
favor.
is hovering. The bird is hovering above the head.
So probably going to be in
That it's a
Well, if
20
he's-
foot radius. Well,
if
actually,
he's
what I
10
had.
foot- if he's 10 foot above it, my spell's only a 10 foot radius, so
Okay, let's do this.
that'll. Or
Let's leave it to chance. I'm going to roll 1d4.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm going to say 1 and 2. You're 5 foot.
Well,
3 and 4.
well-
You're 10 foot exactly.
well, to be fair, I did say that the raven landed on its head, and then through the spell I cast.
You know
All
what?
right.
You know what? To be fair, Sean,
Uh-huh.
just to be fair,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to let that happen.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Because
Yeah.
you did say it. You did. It's
Yeah,
true.
it said say it landed on its head, and it's on
Yeah.
its head. So
Your shitty DM just didn't put the raven where he should have. I should have
that's
listened
okay.
to you.
That's okay. That
Thanks,
is
buddy.
okay.
I feel better already. All right, Ron. So how is it that you're going to put the screws to this worm? Let me count the ways. Please go
Let
ahead.
me see here now. I am gonna cast. I think I'm just going to try to cast Sacred Flame on it, which is an action.
Okay.
I probably have to fly in a little closer.
Well, what's the range on it?
60 feet, I believe.
Let's see. And you're up there even with it too. So I'm going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I think maybe you can do it from there, Ron. Let's see, because you're even level with it. So we're going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 foot. So you can shoot it with that from where you're at, bud.
I will shoot it from there.
Okay. And you also have all kinds of other fun stuff you can do with that too. So
Yes.
Go ahead and roll your attack.
Nope, it's a dexterity saving throw.
Then roll your DC. You better roll something.
16.
Okay. Fails.
Alrighty. So he is going to $24 points of damage because I have.
Ooh. Because
Let me see.
why? I just want the explanation. I'm curious.
Potent spellcasting adds my wisdom modifier to the damage,
Correct.
which was originally 2d8.
Okay.
Plus my wisdom modifier for that. Plus I have 5 points in empower spell
Which you
based on
do.
the evocation. So
That's
that's
awesome.
another 5. So I rolled 14 plus 5 and 5 is 24.
Wow, that is an awesome hit, Ron. As you go in and you do this, it is overtaken by the flaming, scorching rays that came from the eagle, and it wasn't even paying much attention to you. And as you came in and got it, you hit it up alongside the face, and from the angle it's at, you're going up underneath the plates, and you can just see the fire go around and shape the large scales on its face and get into the flesh of it, doing straight damage to the creature. You smell fried worm. And that was 24, right?
Yes.
I like it, buddy. Okay, and that was your major action?
Yes.
Make sure to take care of your magic points too, okay?
Yep, I sure am.
With that, what are you doing with the rest of your turn, Mr. Clever? Since we had to measure out that raven and you humiliated me in that way, go ahead.
Let me see here. As a bonus action, I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay, what do you want it to look like?
I believe we have it set up as a hammer already, and
Yep.
I've been enjoying the hammer.
Okay, I'll bring it. Okay, hold on.
You gonna bring down the hammer on it?
Yeah,
Gonna bring down the hammer.
I knew it. I knew it was coming. Hammer time, baby. Let me see this here. Hold on. I got to get some fun stuff here real quick.
And I am going to, it's got a range of 60 feet. I'm going to bring it in right next to the head of the worm,
Okay,
and it makes a melee attack.
awesome. Okay, just a minute. Almost got it. You're going to laugh when I bring this in here. You're going to be like, that's a big damn hammer, Brian. Because when I first bring this in here, it's going to be freaking huge. It's going to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, edit, paste. Bam! There you are. Yeah, bring it down, Ron. Bring it down. Just a minute, buddy. Let me resize this and make this a spell that you can actually do here, my friend. Hold on. That's a little better. I'll make it a little bigger than that just for fun. Okay, just a minute here. Almost got it done, bud. Okay. We're going to call that Sacred Weapon. and then enter. Okay. And then I want to do something in the backdrop of that really quick, so I can see what the hell it is. Just a minute here. Let's do marker. And what color you want? Blue, yellow? What do you want, buddy?
Yellow.
All right. We got yellow all day. You almost got green there. Hell. Okay. Let me change my size. Oh, let's go airbrush. Yeah, that's the way to do it right there. Size. Okay. I like it. And then a little bit more.
Okay, I'm bringing that in at a 3rd level spell.
Okay. Okay, let me move this to this. Transfer the painting to the thing. And then...
Actually, I'm going to bring it in at a 4th level spell.
Oh, no shit. Okay, nice. Own it, buddy.
Which is... 4th level is 10 points.
Okay. So, you're going to bring it in and you wanted to put it where exactly on this bad boy?
Right next to its head.
Okay, it can be up in the air?
Yeah, it's a floating spectral weapon.
I like it, my friend. Okay, I just want to make sure. I was like, man, that's bitching. All right, so let's put it up right here to its head. I'm going to put it on this side, and I want to move this up here so it looks really cool up above him. There you go.
All right.
I'm actually even going to put it up on now. Hey, will it get messed up by the silence?
No, it won't. It's only if a caster is in the sphere of silence,
Right.
they can't cast a spell with verbal components.
Mm-hmm.
The spell itself can travel into the sphere.
Okay, I just wanted to ask because I was like, you know, I will pass out fuckings now. I will do it. All right, cool, man. So good job, and you're swinging with that, Ron. And what's your role?
Okay, let me see here.
Does it go, or do you just cast it now?
Now I have to roll an attack roll. So
Okay.
I rolled a 19.
Okay, I'm gonna give you advantage because the reason being is I think this has got to surprise it, right?
I would think so.
Well, because here's the thing, you know, Baldair's doing her thing. Brahmus is over here. It's getting scorching rays from this way. You're going back behind it and casting this thing on the side of its head. It's flanked. So I want to give you advantage on the swing of this thing. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I know you're like
least on the
hell yeah,
person.
Brian. Hell yeah, get advantage. You kidding?
I'm looking here to see if I've got any bonuses to the attack rolls on this, but I don't see any.
It would just be like a ranged attack spell, I believe.
Yeah. Well, okay, melee spell attack. So I would add my spellcasting modifier.
Yeah.
All right. So that puts me at a 27.
Okay, a 27 hits and breaches. That's important for this thing. As thick as these scales are, is to get that good damage in there and get those good hits so this thing actually gets hurt some. Because, guys, it's a lot of worm, buddy. Okay, so you get a hit in, and as you hit it on there, I'm going to say it even knocks one of the scales off with its mighty swing. Okay, go ahead and roll damage for that weapon.
14.
14 points of damage. Nicely done, Ron. Okay.
I don't know if it matters, but it's radiant damage.
That was noted. Good deal.
All right, and that would end my turn.
Okay, good turn, everybody. Good job. Okay, the last person to go. It's going to have to be the frostworm. As you hit and you see this scale fly off of the creature and start floating downward to a degree, And it's taken some damage, and there's some fire and things like that happening. The creature retreats and looks around at you guys and screams out again. Just a minute. I gotta check something out real quick. Okay, first thing it's going to do, as it turns, it looks at Brahmus, and it draws back, and it opens up its mouth like it's getting ready to scream, but you hear something coming. Something else is getting ready to happen. And because you've made it nervous and gave it its first hits and things like this, all of a sudden, Ignatious, you being up in the air and things of this nature, you smell something vile starting to come to the surface, almost like an acidic substance. And as it does, and this does not take any kind of casting ability, this is a physical ability of it, so the silence will not inflict this. It spews forth what I would like to call vile breath. I need Brahmus. Let me make sure I got my area right. 15 by 40. 5, 10, 15. He's going to spit it down this way. It is possibly going to hit Brahmus and Valdera both. I need Brahmus to roll a dexterity saving throw. That is going to be a DC of 18, Ron.
Any modifiers to it?
He has a +1 to dex.
Yeah.
Dive! I'll roll for Valdera.
He failed miserably.
Oh my, okay.
And this dice is going away.
And Valdera did too. They both failed. So this string of some kind of acidic, poisonous, toxic stuff comes out of it in let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. Okay. It's almost vaporous. It's almost liquid, but it seems like it spews it almost like a spider spews web. Like it's not like it's puking, but it's like almost like a concoction that it uses to defend itself. It comes out in a 15 by 40 foot streak out of its mouth and lays heavy on the ground, sizzling in this area. The damage for this, because we that sucks. Okay, just a minute. Valdera and Brahmus will take 27 points of poison and acid damage. Okay, and at the beginning of our next turn, we have to roll a Constitution saving throw to see if we take further damage. So beside Brahmus, write down P for poison and E for erosion. Okay, now that damage is going to go to Brahmus inner.
You said 20, how many?
I think I said it was 26.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing with that one, it hits everything. So that's going to affect his inner and outer. And with his damage resistances, the outer is going to be 6, 12, 18. So his outer is going to be -4. Okay. On Brahmus.
Okay.
And his inner is going to be -6.
Okay.
Okay, so keep track of those for me. And with that, the creature is going to descend down into the earth from whence it came. And this is one of my favorite parts right here, guys. And let me do this real quick. It leaves a large hole in the mountainside where it was up through, and that's fun for me. Okay. Now, with that, I need to see something. Your bird, Sean, would have had an attack of opportunity against it. And I don't know if your sacred weapon would have or not, Ron. I don't know how that works on those things. I don't think they get them.
No, I can control it as a bonus action.
Okay, are you wanting to have the raven follow it into the ground? or
Yeah, I'd like the raven to like kind of see if it can grip onto its head so it stays where its head is.
Absolutely, you can. It's a piece of
Yeah.
cake for you.
Yeah.
So you are going down into the ground as well.
Yeah, the raven is going to go down. So.
Okay. Let me find this here. Isadora?
Mhm.
Isadora? Well, I'll just do it graphically so you can see. Isadora goes this way. And then goes this way. She's gone. And you're not sure how far.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, it will be the top of the turn again. And we will go ahead and say that it is Sade's turn.
The worm retreated, so totally fucked up Sade's plans. I guess
and that was my pleasure, by the way. I like screwing up your plans. It's all good.
So much for trying to punch the shit out of it.
Hey, you never know what'll happen.
Right. I guess as it's going down and the start of Sade's turn, Sade telepathically tells Isadora to hold on tight and don't just
Okay.
and
I want. Do you have the stats for Sade?
for Sade
Or I'm not Sade.
for the Raven
For Isabella, yes.
or just a Raven.
I think I put it in the description of the weapon. It had stats there, I think.
Let me look for it. Un momento, por favor.
Now you're just getting fancy. Now you're just showing off, Sean.
Would it be in?
If you don't know, it's under the description of the weapon.
Where
It
is
talks about the
description
spells
of
it can cast and things of that nature, and it should have a little bit of stuff there besides it talks about its stats.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
Your DM's pretty good that way. He hooked you up.
Okay.
Just saying, just throwing it out.
Yeah. Okay. So I have the stats for the Raven.
Okay.
Mhm.
The Raven speaks. What do you say to the Raven again?
I just telling it
on.
to hold on.
Okay.
Just hold on while I maintain the silence. This
You
is a
could say,
telepathic communication.
It goes to speak to you, and it says, "It could be my end," and it sounds panicked. And the Raven takes 7 points of bludgeoning damage as the worm is burrowing through the earth with it trying to hold on to it at the same time. What are you doing? Because that's fair.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to do if a bird jumps on my head. I'm going to dig a hole in the ground.
It takes 7 points. Okay. I'm just gonna tell it just hold on for a little bit longer.
Okay.
Not a little bit longer.
Like, this is an abusive relationship. All right. So, with that, is there anywhere else you'd like to move on your turn? Or anything else you would like to do in particularly on your turn?
No.
Okay. Holding your ground. The next person up is going to be
Oh,
Brahmus.
wait, well, it's Isadora's turn.
Oh, it's Isadora's turn. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Isadora, you are... Go ahead.
So Isadora itself is not casting silence. I am.
Correct.
So Isadora, because she's gripped onto the thing, is going to through Isadora, she's going to cast Vampiric Touch on the worm.
Do me a favor first, since it's been burrowing for a moment and using its movement and rolled a very good roll. You took bludgeoning damage because you're literally holding on to something digging through the earth below. I need you to roll me a strength check for Isadora to hold on.
It's gonna fail me.
Because that is fair.
Yeah.
Because I want her to hold on for you, I really do. I'm just having. It's going to have to take something pretty damn spectacular because this is.
Ugh.
That grunt tells me everything I need to know.
So with her -2 modifier to
It's a
strength,
bird. It's a bird.
it's a 1.
Yeah. So we're going to say this happens. Yeah. Isadora pops back up and flies into the air and tells you couldn't hold on.
Okay.
And looks pretty worse for wear and still has the silent cast around it.
Okay, yeah. When I see her, I'm just gonna drop the silence spell.
Oh, you can leave it up if you want, or
Well, because yeah, just have her. I'll just have her fly above the hole and wait for the next time the worm appears.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody, he thinks the worm's going to reappear. Let's see what happens. All right. After that, it is going to be. Should I second turn? Let's go ahead and go. Number 2 is Brahmus.
Mhm.
Brahmus, you have that shield. You're holding it up. Your movement is halved. So you would have, I'll say, 15 foot of movement. And you just got this shit thrown on top of you. I need Brahmus to roll me a Constitution saving throw. 1d20 and 1d6.
18.
Okay, Alex, I need you to roll me a DC, a 1d20 and a 1d4. We're wanting low. Low numbers, low.
15.
You pass. You are not poisoned anymore, and you've able to wiped off the issue and things of that nature. I don't say wiped off because that's an action, but you are not being affected by the poison or acid anymore. The poison you're not, the acid you do for one more turn, and the acid is to both the outer and inner of him, and that is 10 points of damage, which to Brahmus, outer at this point would be 2, and his inner would be 3. Okay?
Okay.
That's the effects it's having.
All
And
right.
you
I
understand
would.
why that's working, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, would disengaging my shield be an action or a bonus action?
It was a bonus action to bring it up. I'll say it's a bonus action to disengage it if you would like.
I would like to disengage it and climb up the cliff to be near the hole.
Okay? And, oh no, you still have that on you. My bad, sorry. That thing's still on you because she cast it on you. Now, Sylownn, do you have to have line of sight to do this or just concentration to keep the shield of faith up? Is it someone that you can see within range? On the description of the spell. This is where the DM comes back to haunt everybody.
It just says within range.
Okay.
It does not mention sight.
I'm going to let you keep it on him then, okay? So with that, and here's the thing. Now, you know it's a 30-foot cliff, and when you're climbing, your movement is halved, okay? Now, you have some things that he can do that harm him but enable him to do some pretty remarkable stuff, Ron, okay? So he has the ability to cast haste on himself, but that will damage him for 6, non-lethal, to the or
Right,
6 to the actual body. Yes.
If I use, can I not use my action for movement again? Basically like a dash, but not a dash.
Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, definitely. And that would put you right at the top of the
That's
cliff.
why I asked about the shield being a bonus.
Oh, okay, yes. So
My
shield
action
drops.
and my movement would get me basically to the top.
Yes, sir. It would.
Mhm.
Okay,
And then
let's go
his
ahead
turn
and do
would
that.
be over.
Okay. I will describe to you what you would see. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
I rolled a 13. I don't know what his modifiers are for perception.
It's not bad. Just roll me a 1d4.
One, so a total of 14 on the perception.
Okay. You can tell there. You can hear movement down inside there. You can hear the stone and everything cracking, and you can hear this thing kind of like these noises coming from it as it moves around. It's not done. It's burrowing around down there and somewhere, but you're just not sure where it's going. Okay. The tunnel itself seems to be turning back in towards your party members, not away. Free action. What are you doing?
I tell everyone to be prepared. It may be coming out somewhere else near here.
Okay. With that, is there anything else he's doing on his turn? Is he done?
He is done.
Okay. We'll get through a couple more and we'll take a break here, guys. Okay.
Well, if we're cutting out at 10, I mean, it's 9:15.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if you guys need a moment, or are you good to keep going?
Good to go.
I'm all right.
All right. Cool. All right. So, that's right there's the end of that one. The next person to go is going to be Oma. You are up, young lady. This creature seems to be gone, and you have your bird up above. You are back in here. What is it that you're doing?
I would like to move to my bird and cast light on her.
Light?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. That's a really good idea. So let me do you here for a minute. Ignatious, Laomi. Okay. I'm going to move you to the bird. So, I mean, I'll move the bird to you and then that way. Okay. I'll move you both down here. Okay, so you're up underneath the bird now and you cast light on the bird.
Yep.
Okay. And how long does that last for? You got to keep concentration on it?
It can last up to 1 hour.
That's awesome. Okay, so how big of an area of light encircles the bird?
Bright light in a 20-foot radius, and dim light for an additional 20 feet.
Okay, that's fantastic. All right, so with that, you cast a light around her. That is, what'd you say, 20?
Yep.
Okay, bam. Okay. And that is underneath of her. Bam, I like it. All right, so now that you've done that, what's next for you? You have a bonus action, a reaction, and some more movement if you would like it. What are you doing?
Does anyone need healed? So good.
Valdera looks up at you and is wiping some of that muck off of her. Let me do something just for the hell of it. Yeah, she would have failed her save. She could probably do with a dose. She kind of looks at you and holds her hand up, giving you one of these.
Okay. I'd like to go ahead and cast Healing Word using a bonus action.
Okay, and how much is that for? Go ahead and roll your healing.
Equal to 1d4 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Which is 5 for you because you're a baller. And I think you have a skill point or so on actual healing, if I'm not mistaken. And if not,
I
that's
mean, I
fine
have
too.
+5 to medicine.
Medicine is usually for stabilizing someone without using magic.
Yeah,
Ah, gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
that's fine. You can just do the 1d4 plus your 5 then.
Okay.
She's a cleric. What level cleric?
You're 8, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I could have done that at a higher level.
You thinking she can do it at higher level, Ron?
I just wanted to look at cleric.
Sade's still like,
Never
damn
mind.
it!
It's just knowledge domain. So,
Okay.
what domain is she?
Kind of her own.
Okay.
She's a spirit walker. We kind of created
Yeah.
our own for her. So go ahead and just roll your 1d4, Alex.
Okay. Got a 1.
Of course. Well, 5 is better than nothing. That's awesome. As you do that, you hear the sizzle stop as if you're the baking soda to her problem. It's good. And that helped her out quite a bit. All right. That's your bonus action, and is at the end of your turn.
Yep.
Okay. So now it is Mina's turn. Don't think that I forgot, because I didn't. What would Mina like to do?
Fly down the hole after the worm.
Okay, and you're going to use the dash thing so you can use your full movement times 2.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think her movement's like, what, 50 or something like that? I know it's quite a bit. Might be on her stats like her speed or movement. I think it's 40 or 50.
Speed 55.
55, that's what I'm saying. 5, 10, yeah. Okay, so you go down there, and you're able to communicate with Mina to a certain degree.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. I hate to, okay. Just for shits and giggles, we'll do it this way. We're going to say she flies over to the hole, okay, and dives down inside of it. And I will let you ask her a question while you're down there for a free action as the link that you have with her. What are you asking for of her when she goes down that area?
How close is the worm to us?
She says to you in that ancient tribal voice that she has of a very strong woman, the creature is preparing to attack you all. Brace yourselves. She says with desperation. She would attack at the creature, but it took her action and her movement to be able to catch up with it.
Gotcha.
Okay? With that, is that Mina's turn?
I think that's all she can do, right?
I believe so.
Alrighty, then that's a turn.
You might be able to, well, no, because of an action. Mina doesn't get bonus actions or anything like that. So after that, that is Oma. It'd be Valdera, then Sylownn, and then Iggy. Okay, Valdera is going to walk out in this area. What did you say anything to everybody about what you've learned from what you see down in there? In Brahmus, have you said anything to anybody as far as what they've seen? I'll give you guys a second to say a sentence out loud and shout warnings of what you've learned to the rest of the party.
Well, I've already yelled out when I saw that I thought it was going to be coming back because
Okay,
I could
buddy.
feel the vibrations. So
Okay. Valdera is going to walk out right here to the edge of where this cliff kind of starts. See how it starts to raise up? She's going to walk right here to the apex of that, and she still has that lightning crackling around her blade, holding concentration, looking out around. She yells back, "Be ready," to everybody very strongly. I'm going to call that the end of her turn. And then it will be Sylownn. Sylownn has fallen over here. She is going to run along this ridge. Let's see here. 5, 10, 15. Runs by you, Brahmus. 20, 25, 30. When she goes by you, Brahmus, she is singing a song and whispering it underneath of her breath. Okay, she gives you inspiration. For the next 10 minutes, you can add a 1d6 to either an ability score check, a attack roll. You can add it to the damage that you do with a magic spell. You can use it to do all kinds of different things with that. And you have a 1d6 that you can use for the next. I think it's 10 minutes. I'm new to bards, and I'm going to say just for the hell of it.
Bardic inspiration.
Yeah, bardic inspiration. And she started singing that when she was standing back here as her bonus action. So, Sean, your character also has that.
Okay.
I'm new to bards. Don't judge me too harshly. The reason being is because of the school she goes to. It's a new one. I forget, it begins with an S, but she's like this song maiden that sings to people before they go in battle, and she can affect 2 people with her bardic inspiration instead of just 1 when she does it. It was pretty neat. It's a new thing about the new Eberron book that came out. I wish Sojourn or something like that. I wish I could remember the name of it. But she gets to right here on the apex of this peak, and she's looking out, waiting for the creature to reemerge, looking all around the area with her lance, getting herself ready. And Ron, go ahead. What did you find out about that?
It is 10 minutes.
Look at your DM go. New shit and pulling it off like a boss. All right.
I haven't played a bard since 2nd edition. So.
Dude, I'm going to tell you the truth right now, and this video
different.
isn't for kids, but they are fucking broken. They are tough, man. I couldn't believe it, because she only has 3 levels of it, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude.
Yeah, bards, if you like utility players, bards are great.
Yeah, and with her and her background, you know, what she did before she went this path, I just really like this character. She's got a good story. And Alex, I'm not trying to sell her to you. I swear to God, I'm not. I've had a lot of fun making the character, and I have that. You know, it's all
yeah.
good.
One of my first characters in 2nd edition was a bard. I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, so at the end of that, and I've went kind of quick here because, well, there's nothing for us to do but prepare. But because of smart thinking by Alex's character and casting the light around the bird, and it going under the ground, and Ron running up there and checking the hole, it is now the creature's turn.
Oh, I think you skipped Iggy.
I did! Iggy, buddy, what are you doing?
I am casting.
I'm going to cast on that rock over there because I'm pissed. Because worms run. I hate it.
Casting magic missile at the darkness. Have you ever seen that video?
No. What am I missing?
By this company called the Dead Alewives or something. It was back when the PS2 was big. There was this game Summoner.
Yeah. On
the PS2. Well, and the creators did this little thing where they had characters from a few of their different games all sitting around playing Dungeons and Dragons. And one of them's a wizard. He's like, I cast magic missile. They're like, there's nothing in the room. He's like, I cast it at the darkness.
That's cool, man.
It's like hilarious. But
calling back to that, I should have had the eagle yell Leroy Jenkins when it went down the hole.
Leroy Jenkins.
Dude, when that first came out, me and my wife, we watched it like 5 times, and it's really good, man.
My wife and I were actually playing World of Warcraft back then when that came out. So
that one guy, he's like, God damn it, Leroy. He's losing his shit. All right, so Ron, what are you really doing?
What I am doing is...
You're not even on the map yet, buddy. I mean, you're just a shadow. You're 40 foot up in the air. You got a hammer over here swinging at nothing.
Yes, sir.
That's me all day.
All day. Why can't I find it? Okay, here we go. I am casting Guardian of Faith.
Okay.
Actually, I got to move closer though first.
Okay, so where are you moving to, my friend? Talk to me.
I am gonna move.
You're your shadow, and you're 40 foot above.
I'm gonna move. I want to be roughly 30 feet away from that hole.
Okay, so we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So right behind Oma would be 30 foot away.
Well, I would say probably. Yeah, I would say that's a good spot. Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
Still can't see you, but we know you're there.
Yeah.
We know you're somewhere because your shadow's right there, buddy. All right, so that puts you within 30 foot of that hole, and you're casting what?
Guardian of Faith.
And what does that do? Talk to me. Just give me an in-game description.
A large spectral guardian appears and hovers for the duration in an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within range. The guardian occupies that space and is indistinct except for a gleaming sword and shield emblazoned with the symbol of your deity. Any hostile creature that moves to a space within 10 feet of the guardian for the first time on a turn must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. The creature takes 20 radiant damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one.
I like it. Okay.
And the guardian vanishes when it has been dealt 20 or when it deals a total of 60 points of damage.
That's awesome, dude. All right, so you're doing that. And what do you want the guardian to look like? Just describe it for everybody.
It says it's a sword and a shield.
Okay, so let me see if I can find you something that's relevant here real quick. We'll add it in. I might have something here. Let's see. I might have something here that would look kind of cool. There's a sword.
That'll work.
Okay. Okay, let's do that. Let me get the... That's going to be hard to see, that son of a gun. We'll try it. Oh, no, too much. Just a minute, buddy. Hold on. All similar colored area. That will work better. Let's go there. Let's go. Bam. I like that. Okay, let's reverse it. Bam. Okay. Edit. Copy. Bam. It's going to be our giant sword. Get ready, everybody. Get ready to feel the thunder. Bam. Giant sword. Oh, my God. I can see the edge of it right here. It's going to be epic. All right. Hold on. Oh,
yeah.
The fun
bring on the worm. I got my giant magical sword.
You, there, get him. Get him with that shit. That's fantastic. Hold on, buddy. I gotta make it smaller. As fun as that would be, I've got to make it smaller. Let's go right there. That works. Okay. Now, do you have to keep concentration on this?
No.
Look at you.
And duration is 8 hours.
And it's Guardian, right? Wow. And can you move it around?
No.
Really?
Nope. You create a Guardian in a spot. It lasts for 8 hours or until it does 60 points of damage.
Oh, okay. Well, I wish the best for you here. Let me do this real quick. Almost done, sir. What color would you like to have behind that, just for some fun, my friend?
Let's go with, we don't have any green on the screen.
Okay. I like it. Okay, I like it. We can spruce it up with a little bit of green, Brian, if you wanted to. It's like, absolutely we can, Ron. I have no problem with that at all. Let's go ahead and make it a little bigger. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. We'll merge selected layers. Bam. Guardian. of faith. Enter. All right, there you go, buddy. So your guardian of faith is right there in that spot, and it is hovering around the hole, and it will not move. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Nope. At that point, I am going to pass on the rest of. I don't really want to take any bonus action, so.
Okay. All right. With that, we have Valdera holding an action. We have Sylownn that used part of her bonus action, but had her action left still. But she's up on top of the peak, getting her footing ready to do something. She's holding something. We have your person over here holding this. We have your other weapon up here in the air. What's the name of that again?
Spiritual weapon.
Spiritual weapon. We have the Raven,
So we can call him Frank.
Isabella, with silence around it. We have a very frustrated Sade that wants to just punch it.
I'm gonna retroactively, as her action, her whole face is just gonna turn bright red out of embarrassment and frustration.
I like it. Okay, with that, the rumble grows closer as something comes into view. This thing seems to have, after the warnings coming from the people going down the hole and after this creature, it seems like it is getting ready to resurface and emerge and show itself once again. And as it does, the creature shows up over here.
Damn it.
Bursting up through the ice and everything else of this nature, and lets out another one of those giant screams. I need everyone to roll me just a minute. Constitution saving throws. Tell me what you get.
Tonight I'll be playing the role of Danny McGovey with the bad Constitution rolls.
I know. He'll enjoy watching that too. He'll be like, he's right. He's not wrong. What'd you get,
Normally
buddy?
he gets all the bad Constitution rolls.
I know it.
I've got a 12.
You got a 12. Okay. So you are dazed for, I'll tell you in just a minute, and make sure to keep track of this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
2 turns. You're dazed, so you have disadvantage on things, okay? Your movement is halved, and you have disadvantage on saving throws and ability checks and things like that. Okay?
All right. Here is a question I'm probably going to regret asking. But
oh, that's going to be fun.
But
Go
for
ahead.
realism's sake, I'm about 35 feet up in the air. Does that dazing affect my flight?
If you would have got below a 10, which is average, it would have.
Okay.
You're able to maintain. But when you're moving in the air now, it's going to be half that distance from before. Okay. But had you rolled like a 5 or 6 or something like that, I would have dropped you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you would have went all the way to the ground, but it would have brought upon some other things. Okay? Oma, what did you make on your saving throw for Constitution?
14.
Okay, you are dazed for just 1 round. Okay? Sade, what did you get?
Got a 15.
You are dazed for...
Or wait. Technically, if my bird is near me, I'm within its 20-foot range, so I'm deafened. Anybody within 20 feet of my bird would have been deafened and not been able to hear.
Good.
Yeah. So I wouldn't have been able to hear the screech.
Oh,
so is it Brahmus?
Yeah.
So Brahmus is good. You're good. Let's see how Valdera did. Valdera's got a pretty high Constitution. She passes. She's good. And then who else we got? We got Sylownn over here. And she passes with a natural 18. Okay. Good deal. So if you're dazed, please keep track of that. All right? and let me know when we play the next time.
So wait, sorry, quick question.
Yeah,
Was
please.
Brahmus the one that summoned the spiritual guardian?
Ignatious
No, he
was.
did.
Oh, Ignatius did it. Okay, cool. Just
So right now I need you to roll a concentration check of disadvantage, Ron.
A 3.
Buddy. So the spiritual weapon is gone. Okay? Sacred weapon. Fades.
Spiritual weapon is not a concentration spell.
Sacred weapon isn't?
Spiritual weapon.
The hammer?
Yes, correct.
Oh, you just get to keep moving it around. Okay, that's cool. All right, so in the other one, you cast, you don't have to keep concentration on either, so you're good either way.
Correct.
Okay, Oma, roll me a concentration with disadvantage, please, to keep Mina on this plane of existence.
Well, I got a 1.
Mina loses her bond with you, and you hear her release a sound, and she descends back into the realm of shadow. Okay?
All right.
All right. So if you wanted to call her back out again, you'd have to redo it again. Okay? And those of
Right.
you that failed, you are going to take 9 points of sonic damage, and that goes straight to your hit points. Okay? Iggy. 9. Brahmus is good. Sylown's good. Valdera's good. Sade's good. Okay. So, after that, then the creature is going to go. That was its actual lair action. And now we're going to go. And this is where things are going to get ugly. Okay. It is going to do a slam attack against Valdera. As it arrives, Valdera is going to release her move, since it did not affect her because she was holding it with the Blade of Wrath. As she does, she takes her sword and she does it in an uppercut fashion. And when she does, you see lightning arc through the snow out towards this creature, hit it in this underbelly, and track up its body, and lightning explodes out between some of these segmented parts on its inner torso. The creature, oh fuck yes, that's awesome. Actually, the creature takes and I'll add that on this. Nope, 6. That's awesome. Valdera's freaking 31 points of damage. All right, I like it. All right, and then I'm going to release Sylown's move that she was holding. Okay. She is going to... Sorry, when you're DMing and you're playing 2 different characters, these things kind of happen, guys. I apologize. But if anyone would like to play one of these characters, that'd be fine. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm terrible, Alex. I'm absolutely terrible. Okay, so I want to do... Which one is it here? Okay, so as she jumps up into the air, okay, she's already 30 foot something up, all right? So she literally takes a step off of the ledge as if she's getting ready to do a swan dive. But as she does a half spin and puts her foot onto this lance. And when she gets ready to descend, You hear her say a word, and as she does, she descends towards this creature like a streak. Normally, you can't control the way that you fall, but when you have a gust of wind at your back guiding you to a certain location, it can control and steer you as you fall. And she plummets, and she goes straight towards this creature's torso. Okay? As she does, she has another bunch of that sonic energy wrapped around the tip of her spear, and she's coming in for another attack that was very similar to the last one. Okay? Ron, your character literally holds his breath this time. I'd like for him to do a charisma check to see if he can hold his composure as you're watching this shit go on.
All right. With disadvantage, correct?
Yep.
Oh, crap. 7.
Okay.
Hold on one second.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to shut off the fireplace. It was a little warm.
All right, buddy. So with that, what would you like to say as you jump out and yell something at her character, kind of losing yourself for that instant moment, Ron, because you couldn't withhold yourself?
I think I would just yell her name.
Okay. As you do, I hit it. Okay. So since I did this, and I'm playing as a character, I would tell the rest of you, I rolled a 23. That hit and breached exactly. That's the magic number, guys. Okay. So as if I was a part of the party playing her, that's what you have to be able to find a weak spot on it. So hit and breached the creature. As I do a boom of this sonic energy that hit me, I'm pushing back onto the creature in the end of my spear here, and I'm going to tell you what the damage of this is in a minute, and you guys will see why she's pretty cool. Okay. Lance does 1d8, which is 6, plus 5 is 11. Plus for her 30 foot, she does 1d6 every 10 foot. It's 11 plus 22 plus 1d4 for specialization, weapon specialization. 325 plus 1d6 for the sonic damage that she has taken on. 4. She does 29 points of damage on her sky vault that she just did to this creature. As she does, the lance strikes down and puts a big gash into the creature. As she follows it down, it almost cuts the front of this thing open like a sail, like when you saw the big guy on Goonies put the dagger into the sail and kind of come down. Hey, you got. She does some shit like that because I think it's cool, and I'm the DM and I can do shit like that. So she takes the spear down, the guts of it, lands on the bottom, and turns around and gives you a look of confidence. Okay, you can see her lips move, and she says, "Don't worry about me." You can read her lips from a distance as you're looking on her, Ron. Okay? At the end of that, the creature is going to do slam attacks on everybody around it. So the first one, 34, hits Valterra, and the creature slams its head down just viciously after being cut, trying to cover up its underbelly and laying down flat and bringing itself down to put some nice cool air on or snow on that big wound on its chest. And the slam does, and this is what sucks. This is when things get ugly. Oh God. 10. Oh God. 14. 24 points of bludgeoning damage to Valterra. Ugh. And I have to roll a constitution check to make sure it didn't stun me. And I failed. No, I passed. I rolled natural 16. So it comes down and slams down on top of her, literally leaves an imprint in the snow as she's not able to use her weapon to block it. It's too big of a creature. That's why it got such a good hit on her. And slams her. You see blood shoot out of her mouth, and it almost looks like you wouldn't survive something like that, Ron. But she's still standing. The creature rears back again and is going to make another slam attack against Sylownn's character. That was a natural. That was a 28. She was able to dodge it. If I read this right, let me make sure. Nope, it hit her. It did hit her. It wasn't quite enough. She can dodge shit like crazy, but it did hit her. Now we need to do the damage for the slam attack on her. 23 points of damage to Sylownn. Woo! And I need to roll Constitution to see if she is stunned. And she is. Sylownn is stunned and cannot take actions until the end of her next turn right now, as this thing has knocked her down and she is prone, laying on her side as this thing has come down and just waylaid into her. And for its last thing it can do here, it is going to do... No, it wouldn't do that. On that last hit, when it hits Sylownn, it is going to use its bonus action. It is going to do Putrid Sludge. Every once in a while, when it hits something, it can produce a secretion that will wrap around your character, and it's almost like having the slow spell cast upon you. You're stuck in this muck that comes off of it, and it will squirt out of its body when it hits certain creatures as a bonus action. Since she was stunned from the attack, it's certainly going to work, and she will suffer it's acid damage as it lands on top of her, automatically going off with the hit. 8 more points of damage. And she is not only stunned, but now she is restrained in that area. So Sylown's getting hurt right now. She could use a strength check and try to break herself free or attack it, but she's stunned, so she can't. It's what we call the trifecta. All right, at the end of that, the top of the turn, it's going to be Sade's turn. We'll go for another 10 or 15 minutes here, and we'll call it.
Okay.
So this thing is dealing. When you see this thing hitting into these people, you're starting to see some of the true nature of this son of a gun. It's taking heavy hits, but boy, it's dashing them out. And if it can do that secretion on you, and it's shriek like this, I mean, it's a bad day, guys. It's we're hurting it, but we're getting hurt too. What are you doing, Sade?
Okay. Sade is going to use her full movement to get to the worm.
Okay. So I'll say, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. What is your regular movement?
55 feet of movement.
Okay, you can get right here with 55.
Spend a key point step of the wind to get the rest of the way.
Okay, is that going to take your action, or is that going to?
That's going to take a bonus action. That's a bonus action.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, you want where you want to end up at? You saw
right next to the damn thing. Right next to the damn thing.
Okay, I'm going to say you jump through between these two, and you're jumping right here in front of Valdera, as these two are just got pummeled. Okay, so you've done that. That is 4 key points for today so far.
Yes, I know. And then I'm going to punch the shit out of it because I'm so frustrated.
You know, it is a worm, and if you do punch it, it could possibly shit everywhere. You might not see it, but it's true. And remember, you also have your bird you can control on your next turn.
Right.
So you are in the belly of the beast of this thing. You're looking at a vulnerable spot on it currently, but this thing is thrashing around so much you're not quite sure. It is bleeding some kind of ichor, and you do see that Sylownn is covered in some kind of thick mucus-like stuff that has solid on her, and she's fighting to try to get up from her prone position. You are standing beside them all, and you're like, I've had enough. Go ahead and roll for your attacks as you monk punch the shit out of this thing.
Right. So the first one.
Pick to attack from the outside.
Ron uses a free action to remind the red-faced Sade it's too thick to attack from the outside.
No.
At this point, she's just frustrated.
No, it's
She
all
hasn't
good.
gotten everything she's planned, so she's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go for it." This is one of the very few moments where Sade loses her cool.
Okay. And mind you, this is one of the very few moments, and we've played 3 times.
Uh-huh.
All right.
The first hit is a 26.
26 hits and breaches.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that when you're punching this thing, you hit a part of that big cut that Sylownn put down its side, and you draw back, and you just put a freaking a badass shadow monk palm. And I want to tell you something too, Sean. Your character is capable of doing a shadow strike at this level. So I just want to remind you of that. Okay, I know that you had 2 other levels and something else, but I'm going to allow that because I made that move custom for your character.
So,
which in this case it probably wouldn't matter too much, but you know what it does. It's a
yeah.
Okay.
I'll save the shadow strike for later.
Oh, it's
but
cool.
I'm just gonna do a straight up punch, and
what's your damage?
So that punch gets 7.
Okay, 7 points. It went right to the creature, which is good. Good news.
And I get 3 attacks this turn
because you're a badass monk.
The next hit is a natural 20 for a total of 31.
Okay.
So
go ahead and roll your damage. And do you want to use the table and do something special, or you just want your dice to be ×2?
I'm just gonna double the dice damage.
Okay.
So that's 10 damage total.
Okay.
And then my third hit is a 28.
That is a breaching hit as well. And do you have combo attack?
I think I do.
As a feat?
Let me just double check that. I do not have combo attack.
Okay.
But I do have weapon specialist.
So you can add a 1d4 to your critical hit chance. So what did you roll on the dice?
17.
Okay, so if you roll 1d4, you could easily, if you roll a 3, that's going, or 3 or 4, it's going to turn that into a 20 and you get a critical hit.
So I turned that into a 21, so I add 4 to that.
There, that's what weapon specialist is, a badass,
Yeah.
and now it's a double damage dice.
So that's 6, 12 plus 2 is 14, and then I spend a 5th key point to do stunning strike.
Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, go ahead and roll your DC for your stunning strike.
So it'll be that plus 6. So whatever I roll, plus 6.
Mm-hmm.
So 15.
Okay. Alex.
Yep.
I need you to roll me a 1d20 plus 4. Has a high constitution. It is a worm.
Okay. Got a 6.
Alex, come through. Yes, ma'am. That's what I'm talking about. You have stunned the creature.
Mm-hmm.
You hit it in this gap, and it is going through some pain, and it literally starts to hang there for a minute. I want you to roll me a dexterity check, please.
Okay. 13.
Woo! You're lucky.
Of course.
You're lucky. As you hit this thing and its head starts to go like this and goes kind of weird, some more of that nasty putrid shit that it puked up on Valdera and shit drolls out of its mouth as if it's been holding it back, getting ready to release it. But since you knocked it crazy, it kind of happens automatically, and it falls in a pool right there where you would have been standing. I'm going to move your character back 5 foot because you rolled a dexterity check just high enough to get out of the way of it as it lands here around the feet of the character. The problem is Valdair's back far enough. She is not, and Sylownn takes the damage from it.
Sorry, Sylownn.
Sylown's having she put a hell of a hit on it. She's having a rough first day. 6 points of acid damage. Damn it, Sylownn.
I would just like to attribute that barrage of punches to just Sade getting her frustration out for all her plans being ruined.
Just working through it. Just working through your shit. I get it.
Very rarely does Sade's plans ever fail.
No, I get it, man. I get it. Okay, so that was Sade. Number 2 is going to be Brahmus. Do you want to do your turn, or you want to hold it till next time we play, Ron?
I think we'll hold it till next time. Hopefully let Jeremy jump back into Brahmus.
Okay, so that'll be a good way to introduce him. So with that, I will close the folder on this for tonight. So we've got an awesome situation going on here. Worm popped up on the one side of the cliff face, started shrieking out its shit at us. We heard it all the way back at the city, right? It's affecting us. It's making stuff difficult. Went down in the hole and started burrowing back this way. People were banking on it possibly popping back up in the same hole, but didn't happen. Just so you know, I had an idea where this creature was going to come out way before tonight, so I wasn't intentionally trying to screw anybody. That's just, that's where it decided to pop back out at. Upon that, had some good heavy hits. This thing is hurting, but it's not bloodied yet. This thing is a tank, okay? But putting some super good hits on this thing, it's getting past its scales and actually hurting the creature. That's what you gotta do and stay alive. Healers are going to have their work cut out for them here. Oma putting the light around the bird, fantastic move. All kinds of good stuff going on here. So with that, let me go ahead and end my share screen, and then we will say our goodbyes and stop recording as soon as I can find where the hell it went to. Here it is. Let's go stop share. Oh, hold on, let me do this first real quick. Pause you. Okay, minutes. Stop share. All right. So, folks, once again, another long fight. It takes a while, but it's fun. You guys don't mind the crawl, do you?
No.
It's pretty good. And there's a lot of really fun, interesting shit that goes on in these fights, but the dynamics of it have been fantastic. So, once again, I want to thank everybody for taking their time out, for Alex staying awake. Well, she's doing, she's playing stunned. She's playing her character. If that's not role playing, I don't know what is. We'll try to get back on Sunday. Is everybody good for then?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. And we will try to put a serious dent in this, and we'll have Jeremy along. I'll send this to him, suggest he watch, and try to take some notes on what may work and what may not. And until Sunday, take care, and we'll see you all then. Thanks for watching.